Here's the story. My first case is a very simple one. Oh my god. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butz, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it usually is the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do! August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butz.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The, defense is ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous.
Your conduct during this trial could decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness.
Yes, Your Honor. Ugh. Handshaking, eyesight fading.
The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
No, that's easy. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butz, Your Honor.
Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine.
Wait, was that it? I just had to know who I was defending?
Next question.
Oh, no.
This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name?
I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait. Oh, no. No. Oh, wait, I forgot! I'm drawing a total blank here! Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim... The victim, of course! I know the victim's name! I just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you.
Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case?
That's easy. It's Mia Fey. I didn't even check. I hope it's right. What? How can I be? Oh, no, that's Mia! How can I be the victim? Oh, right. Sorry, I was the first name that popped in the court record, right? Remember to use it when you're in a pinch with tab.
Let me ask that once again. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case?
That's easy. It's Cindy Stone. I didn't even check again.
You're correct.
I was just kidding with the first one, guys. Let's be honest. I obviously knew Mia was right next to me. She was just right next to me, so that was just, you know, the first name that popped in my head, alright?
Now tell me, what was the cause of death?
She died because she was... Well, we know this one. Hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object.
Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure.
Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor.
As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts it into an evidence.
Statue added to the court record. Statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Duh!
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness.
I'm not sure if I'm being consistent with these voices at all. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butz, to the stand. I definitely butchered his... Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Why is he so happy now? He's like, oh yeah, all eyes on me, baby.
Mr. Butz, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you?
Hey! Watch it, buddy! We were great together! We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra to Mark Antony! Oh, didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me ever. What's it to you anyway?
Mr. Butz, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder.
What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it, lies! I don't believe a word of it.
Your Honor, the victim's passport.
I literally lost.
According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
She was in Paris until the day before she died? Wait, what? She was in Paris until the day before she died. So she came back from Paris the day she died. Apparently arrived home from Paris July 30th, the day before the murder.
Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder.
Dude, no way. The victim was a model. Wait, this guy. Fuck. This is already tough.
The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
Oh my god.
Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle.
Dude.
We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butz, what do you think of her now?
Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... well, if she's telling me to stop him, I think let's see what happens. Might be better not to get involved in this one.
Well, Mr. Butz.
Dude, no way! That's cheating! That cheating she-dog! I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead! Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Nice. That was good. That was good. I think we made the right choice. Let's continue.
Let's continue with the trial, shall we?
I believe the cursed motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Wait. Oh, boy. This is so not looking good.
Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not?
Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. He went... What do I do? Honesty is the best policy, guys. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah. Yeah, I was there. I went. Oh.
Order! Well, Mr. Butz?
Dude, chill! She wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? Oh, shit. The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butz is lying.
Well, that supervises matters. Who is your witness?
The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
Order! Order in the court! I didn't even see it yet, but I was already saying. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
I literally lost this guy's voice. It's something.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is bad.
On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Shawit to the stand.
Oh, this is the guy who did it. He looks like a snake.
Mr. Shawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct?
Oh, yes. Newspapers, yes.
Mr. Sawin, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
Witness's account. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead! I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Oh no, this is not looking good for us. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the victim's phone in the victim's... why?
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during the blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Shawway used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal.
Blackout record. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime.
Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes!
Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination.
Cross-examination, Your Honor? All right, right. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. All right, we got this. Going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. Okay, this is the first piece of evidence. Yes, I'm an actual attorney. It's good to know. Time of death, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Oh, that's interesting. The statue and the shape of the thinker, it's rather heavy. Okay. Am I supposed to do anything? What does Q do? I find it odd you would take notice of him. I don't know. He just seems strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. The defense requests that the witness refrain from conjecture. Of course. What the witness means is what the man he saw looked suspicious. So what happened next? I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. We don't have anything for that, right? I don't think we can do anything for that, right? Wait, how do I back? So I guess we go past this, right? Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. Okay. So you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes. I mean, no, nothing. Okay, what happened next? I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. Went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Wait right there! Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone. Oh, very convenient. And being the middle of the afternoon, there was no answer at the nearby apartments. Alright, what time did you call again? I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Huh, interesting. 1 p.m. Are you certain? Yes, absolutely. Seems really confident. 1 p.m.? Right. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him. I was... Hold it. I clicked the wrong button, okay? It's right here. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Ha! Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. I'm saying this wrong. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that,
This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Shawwitt, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question.
Great job, Wright. Right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Thanks, Mia.
Oh, wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again?
Alright. The time of discovery.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m.
You take me for a fool? Why can't I do it? Alright, I guess we gotta wait for him. Terribly sorry about that misunderstanding.
I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a tape program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay, that's why. Right. You know what to do. I got this one. So do we have to listen?
Found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? Must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m.
Hold it right there. Are you sure the voice you heard said it was 1 p.m.?
Yes, I can practically hear it now. It's quite clear.
Verified this testimony? My apologies. Your Honor.
Your Honor, I too have only just learned that the witness heard the time. Oh, I'm really sorry. I only remembered it just now. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
Yes! I was actually gonna... In the body, I heard the time. Saying the time was probably coming from the television. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawwitt?
No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait, I remember now.
Mr. Sawwitt, The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Charlotte. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
We got him on the ropes, hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. Oh, wow. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
Alright. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim.
The murder weapon?
Yes, the tablecloth that was used as a weapon.
That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Shawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne.
As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch, you just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now?
Yes! Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction!
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he... You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove it I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard!
Order in the court! Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Shawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face!
Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with a clock?
That day, I never! Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw...
Huh?
Shut up, I hate you! It was him, I tell you, I saw him! He killed her and he should have burned! Bird, give him death!
Well, that definitely changed. Order! Order in the court, I say!
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim.
Mr. Wright! Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think through it carefully.
Your Honor, the sound Mr. Shawit was definitely this clock.
fact which is clear if you simply... I think if we heard it. Let's sound the clock now here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Shawwitt heard and the actual time of the death.
So, Mr. Shawwitt...
No, I mean, this is Phoenix. Try to talk your way out of this one.
You forgot one thing.
Uh-oh. What's he talking about now?
While it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I gonna prove that?
Damn it! I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Ah! Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Shawwitt.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime!
I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mrs. Shawwitt. Mia! Huh? Mia? I mean, Chief! Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Whoa. Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours? Well, yeah. Wait! Maybe I can prove it! You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let him have it! Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see the evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Ha! The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Shawwitt? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? What the hell? This dude has rabies, bro. Order, I say. This dude foaming out the mouth. Oh, well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Well, I'm kind of a modern-born genius. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butz, not guilty! Hey! Let's go! My voice. Glad that's over with. And with that, this court is adjourned. Thank God. Too many voices. That one dude's voice was not doing well, and that's why I couldn't maintain it.
Turns out that Frank Shawway was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Shawway let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Shawway grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. And killed her.
August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
Whew. I still can't believe we won.
Right, good job in there. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you.
Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there.
It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no! I mean, bad! Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. He's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? I was about to say, is she calling me Harry? Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butz, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you Harry Butz. Nice. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey! Here, take this. It's a present. The murder weapon? A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? What the f... I think she quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Why do they have to keep doing that? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right! The heck is she talking about? the autopsy. Well, I would say the statue, right? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make it of what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent Butz. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part, at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay us. Unless you count the clock he gave me. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep.
Oh, whoa. What's gonna happen? Now I gotta know.